So in the previous class, we talked about the dominance property, which means converting a bigger size game like 3 by 3, 4 by 4, which is more than 2 by 2 matrix into a 2 by 2 matrix. So that's what basically the dominance property, which means that we are eliminating the not so good outcome so that we curtail it to 2 by 2, fruitful outcome. So that's what basic objective of this dominance property, right? So a quick recap. So this is a problem which we dealt in the previous class. We have got player A and player B. This is the playoff matrix, and this is the playoff matrix for player A. Right. So remember, this is for player A. The reason we say it's player A is like we will be looking, the advantage of player A over player B. So if you want to look player B strategy, it's just the reverse of this. So all these things will become negative. And since it has no negative value, so all these things will be a negative value. If you look in terms of players B perspective, right? So that's basically the playoff market. Right. So our objective is to optimize or to find out the saddle point or the optimal point, which maximizes the value of this game. Right. So that's basic objective. And this is a 3 by 3 matrix, and these are the cell elements. This is for your understanding. Right. Our objective is to curtail it to 2 by 2 matrix, and we have dealt an arbitral way. This is a 3 by 3 matrix. Say a 3 by 3 matrix will have 9 options or 9 2 by 2 matrix. It is called sub matrix, or you can even call this as a matrix. So this is one 2 by 2 matrix, another 2 by 2 matrix, and this is another 2 by 2 matrix, and this is another 2 by 2 matrix, or 1, 2, 3, 4. This also 2 by 2. We can even make that as 2 by 2. Or the 7, 6, 7, and 1 can also be a 2 by 2 matrix. So that's how it is basically, right? So there are 9 2 by 2 matrices, or can even call that 2 by 2 matrix available, right? If you do it arbitrarily, in this case, in the first option, I just masked row 3, and then I masked column 3. Right? Say this end of this 2 by 2 matrix. And we talked about the value of the game, which is the 4, right? But you can even try other options, like I mask row 1, then column 1. So this is the 2 by 2 matrix exists. And this does not use any value because the denominator becomes 0 or something like that. So it's not a number, right? So this is not a fruitful option. So we can discard this particular, options. The next is also the same. We mask row 1, then column 2. We end up with 6, 7, 5, and 6. So this also does not use any fruitful value. We can discard this. And same way, the other option will mask row 1, then column 3, and then we left with 6, 2, 5, 1. This also does not use any resource, so we can quickly mask that. But when you come back to this 5, when you mask row 2 as well as column 1, so we end up with 7, 2, 1, and 6. So it yields a value of 4, right? So it is a value of 4. Already in the first iteration, we have got something called 4. Let's think whether the other options can yield higher value of the game or something. More the value, better is the optimal. Better is the advantage. Like something you play a game and your chances, the value of the game should be very high so that your chances is very good, right? In terms of it, right? Then 5, we can retain this because it has got a value of 4. Then we'll go back to the other thing. We'll take row 2 and column 2, and it does not yield any value. So this option is also ruled out. Then next option 7, we can mask row 2 and column 3. It yields something like 3.4. It's also a good option, but not as high as 4, but it's okay. Another way another options available which yields a value. And then eighth option, it also yields a value, but in this case you can see the value is 4.5. So this is pretty high, right? So far this is the highest. The other two things are 4 and another one is 3.4. So far this is high. So this strategy is really good. And then another option 9, and also option 9 does not use any value, right? So you can rule out that. So among the 9 options, probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 iterations, or 4 not iterations, 4 options yields a fruitful value. Among the 4 options, this option yields the highest value of the game, 4.5, which is the highest in number. So this is how you generally, it's the general practice. It's not mandatory to follow, because this is a 4 by this is a 3 by 3 matrix. So not 3 by 3, yeah, it's a 3 by 3 matrix. So we have got 9 options. Think of 4 by 4 matrix. The options 2 by 2 will be very high, and 5 by 5 matrix, 10 by 10 matrix, you can see the number of sub matrix, I mean sub 2 by 2 matrix are pretty high. You can't find out individually every options and find out which has the highest value. So that's pretty difficult. So there's a shortcut method. It is basically an approximate method, but sometimes it may not give you accurate result, but it will give you a flavor of near optimum or some data. So that's what we're gonna try to achieve in this particular class, right? So instead of taking all these things, right? So I'll replicate this problem. So you can even call this as an alternate method, or you can even call this approximate method. The reason is that it may not give you the accurate value, but it will give you a flavor of near optimum, so that your optimum is within that range. Like for example, in this case, the optimum value yield by one of the one of the options is 4.5, which is very high. So that's very much an optimum value. But this may not give 4.5, but it's gonna give you something related to 4 or something. So that's what basically an approximate method. But this is generally practiced. If you take our textbooks, they teach this method to determine the value of the game in case of a large, game, like more than 2 by 2 game. Right. So the same problem and the same syntax. Then this is the procedure. So kindly pay attention to this. This is really an important thing, and it is a very interesting thing also. And sometimes it will be confusing during examination. So I just tell you very clearly, so don't make any mistakes in examination. Right. So what exactly that means is, in the first step, we'll be comparing row. Row governs first in game theory. So then only the column. That's why we find row minimum, then maximum of minimum, then we'll go for column maximum, then minimum of maximum. Same way, first we'll rows. Like in this case, we have got 3 rows: A1, A2, A3. Right. So A1 is 172, and A2 is 627, and A3 is 516. Right. So first step is we will be comparing row wise. We will take 2 rows and we'll compare with the one another, right? Say for example, the first case I've taken A1 and that gets compared with A2. So you can even call this both gets compared. It's not like A1 gets compared. It's just like both gets compared. A1 and A2 gets compared, and we'll see which row has the least value when compared to the other row. I mean the corresponding other row. Right? Say in this case, I'm comparing A1 and A2. Say 1 is lesser than 6. Yeah, it is okay. But 7 is not lesser than 2. Right? So this comparison is ruled out. Right? So we need to find out a row which has got all the elements lesser than the subsequent or the corresponding row, or the row which is taken for comparison. Right? Say I repeat, we will take a row and all the elements of that row is compared with the corresponding cell of the matching row or taken row or something like that. Right? So in this case, we have taken A1 and A2. We will be comparing A1 and A2. So A1, in this case, if you see 1 is less than 6, okay, so which means this has a lesser value. Then, but if you compare 2 and 7, so this is higher and this is lower. So there's a contradiction. Like this cannot be a perfect comparison. The reason is that it's a contradicting difference, right? So here 1 is less, here 2 is less. So what if this is the other way around? Say 2 is here and 7 is here, and this is a really good matching. So that will go to the third cell. So since the comparison is not effective, so we'll stop with that. So that's why I've just put not okay. Right. Then we'll compare row 1 with row 3. Right. So I repeat, we'll compare row 1 with row 3. So 1 is less than 5, it's okay. But 7 is not less than 1. So this is also ruled out. Right. So even though 2 is less than 6, when you compare this row and this row, this is a contradiction. So it is not okay. Next, we'll take A2. Since we have compared A1 and A2, so A2 comparison and A1 is also A1 comparison A2. So we can only compare A2 with A3. So that's what we have not done. So it's A2 compared with A3. Right? So this is, so 6 is higher than 5, or 5 was lesser than 6. So we can take anyway. This is fine. So which means this is higher, this is lower. Then 2 is higher than 1, or 1 is lesser than 2. It's also matching, right? So higher here, lower here, and lower here. Let's take a look at here. Yeah, 7 is higher than 6. Yeah, that's absolutely true, right? So which means all these three values are higher than this corresponding row, which means that this is okay. So what we have to do is, when in the comparison, whichever value or whichever cell that has got all the elements or lesser than the corresponding row which is taken for comparison, delete that particular row. So which means that delete rows. This is 3 by 3, so we have deleted one row. If it is 4 by 4, 5 by 5, we'll be deleting multiple rows depending upon this procedure, right? So this particular row gets deleted since it has the lesser value when compared to the comparison row or something like that. So that's why we exclude A or delete A. So our matrix is turned out to be this way, right? Next will be the column comparison. So in the column, we'll be finding out the maximum entries. Remember, in the row wise, we'll be deleting the row which has the least values. In the column wise, we'll be finding out, column which has a maximum value, and we delete that. That's a little confusing stuff, so that you can understand much better. So row wise, we'll delete that, or you can even remember by row minimum or column maximum. So column wise, we'll be taking out, removing out the maximum entries. So first we'll compare column 1 with column 2. So this is B1 compared with B2. Right? So when B1 compared with B2, so 1 is less than 7, it's fine. But 6 is not less than 2. So this is ruled out. So this option is ruled out. So this is a contradiction, right? So that's why it is ruled out. Then B1 gets compared with B3. Like 1 is less than 2 and 6 is less than 7. So this is fine. This comparison holds good. When you compare this with this, and this is the column that has the maximum value. Right? So let's also try other options. Like, so we have compared B1 with B2 and B1 with B3. We can compare B2 with B1, which is very similar to B1 compared with B2. Right? So that's why I've just got this double arrow. So it means that we are both comparing the other way around. Right. Now B2 gets compared with B3. Right? So 7 is greater than 2. 2 is not greater than 7 here. So that's why this is also ruled out. So B2 and B3 comparison is not okay. Our comparison okay is B1 and B3, right? So which means that we have got 1 which is less than 2 and 6 which is less than 7. So we can remove B3 which is the cell that has got the maximum value. So 217. So when you remove this B3, we finally end up with this 2 by 2 matrix, which is 1762. And when you do the calculations and using the formula, we end up with a value of the game is 4, right? So which is something approximately correct. But if you do all sorts of things, like all sorts of iteration, you may find a bigger value. But this is okay. Right? So 4 is nominal. Right? So that's how you make a decision making. So this is just an approximate method. So it's not an accurate method. If you want to have an accurate stuff, then you have to list down all the other possibilities and find out the value of the game for all the options. But that is very cumbersome for a large matrix. Like 3 by 3 years, 9 options. You can take 5 by 5, 10 by 10 the matrix, then a lot of 2 by 2 matrices. Then you can do that with computers. Like you can do a program, you can program this particular problem, and you can find out using recursion or something like that. But manual computations are pretty heavy and pretty cumbersome, and it's more of a arduous, like very complex and perplexing or something like that. So that's what basically we take this approximate to find out the so this is the dominance property.